Good morning, you Tubalonians. Oh, it's a little after 6 in the morning, and beautiful out here right now. Boy, that heat the other day was kind of oppressive, so, boy, it's nice just to be able to walk around and not feel like you're getting hit by a bomb of light. About 106, 107 yesterday, and it's kind of sketchy for this time of year, in my opinion. I always thought the hot time was about 3 weeks ago. Now, maybe things are changing. I don't know. At any rate, out watering the grass, fooling around. Besides, it gives me a chance to walk around barefoot. I was just watching some junk on the algorithm in question here the other day. And this morning I watched a little bit of it. And I just kind of wanted to talk, short talk at the trailer with an old guy. I have nobody to talk to, and half the times I can't even tell whether the things I'm thinking really make all that much sense because I have nobody to bounce ideas off of. But our society is a very, very lonesome society in terms of, you have mass events, you have crowds, you have huge, busy cities, you have all kinds of activity, you have all this quasi-interconnectedness. You're not really interconnected. It's more like, you're looking over somebody's fence, looking in what they're doing over there. That's not connection. That's peeping Tom. There used to be a word for that. A voyeur? I think a voyeur. I haven't used that word in a long time. Anyway, I'm just sitting there thinking, we're just surrounded by so much lies. It's incredible. I was watching one today about, I think one of the biggest lies of our time is that movie, The Matrix. I did enjoy the original Matrix movie. The sequels, I kind of got lost. Like, what's happening? Who are these people? And anyway, the basic premise of The Matrix, as far as I can tell, and don't ask me what the premise of The Matrix is, but in terms of, I guess you'd call it in terms of epistemology, perhaps, is that the premise is that nothing's real. It sounds like an old Beatles song to me. Nothing is real. It's like, hey, John, have another hit. John Lennon was whacked out of his gourd when he wrote probably half his stuff in the last couple of years of the Beatles. I mean, seriously, these guys were into some chemicals. But at any rate, the point is that I, as a believer in the Messiah announced in Scripture, that would be Jesus of Nazareth, King of Jews. That's what it said on the sign. Yeah, that one. They're essentially arguing, or they are, and that's the problem, is that there's no source for this. We're not citing anyone. It's very similar to the problem where I keep referring to the nobody downstairs. When you think about, who is it that's saying that nothing is real? Well, nobody. In other words, you can't get a quote. And so I'm just sitting there thinking, where our society is swamped in madness. The corruption at the political level is fantastic. Now I'm hearing about all this stuff, with this movie that came out, Sound of Freedom. I still haven't seen it. Nothing against the movie. I just don't like crowded movies. I never go to a movie when it's popular. I wait for it to cool down and become something that now we're thinking about something else in the world. Then I'll go look at it. Because when it's a real hot property, when everybody's got to see it right now, I think that's part of the problem, not part of the solution. And so I want to let it cool down, and then I'll look at it and clear as I can. But out of this, there's all kind of satanic garbage with, drinking blood, and oh my gosh, they have all sorts of disgusting rituals, and and what they're trying to do is garner essentially soul power. They're trying to steal life power, but steal life power from who? In other words, from babies? Yeah, but in other words, if nothing's real, then you don't need blood, do you? If nothing's real, then you don't need your crappy little dance to the devil ceremonies with candles and knives and crap. If nothing's real, you have no reason to be doing anything. The problem is, it's almost exactly the reverse. Everything is real. Look right here. That green stuff, that's real. I'm real. The water hose is real. The water's real. The air's real. In fact, it's weird that water can become part of the air, and it does that all the time. And we breathe the stuff. That's real. In other words, the actual situation here on planet reality, got her about where I want it. I just drag the hose around a little bit, kind of move that little toy sprinkler. And the reality is all around you. You cannot get away from it. There has never been anything that isn't real, except things that used to be real and are currently no longer, or things that are not yet real and shall be. But then that means that time is real. And so we have a creation, we have a realm where I can stand on a real world and have real plants growing up. I have a real atmosphere overhead, and it's really an envelope. It only goes up, I don't know, you probably only breathe it for the bottom 4 or 5 miles, I'd guess. By the time you get to 25,000 feet, you're going to be having a hard time, especially if you're carrying a bag of groceries. Why would you be carrying a bag of groceries? Never mind. The point is that when we think about it, in a sense, everything hinges upon the fact that everything is real. We are being held accountable for every single decision we make, whether it's good, bad, informed, uninformed, completely ignorant, wise, beyond wise, whatever it is. We're being held responsible moment for moment, hour by hour, day by day, for the decisions we make and how we treated real people or real animals or real babies, how we treated real authorities, how we treated the King of Heaven in the midst, because he has gone to the extent to make himself known. He has authorized for us to have instruction concerning his way, and it's the good way. There is no other good way. But what I mean is that it's wholesome, it's lively, it makes sense, it's coherent, it warms your heart, it encourages you, it lights your eyes up so you're willing to tangle it up again for another day. You don't need to be hearing that nothing's real and then go out and do great things or something like that. That's absolutely incoherent. And besides that, it's a lie. And we know where those come from. The nobody downstairs is the father of lies. He's the originator of murder, too. He's the one who came up with that idea. And this is a big participation bonus there for the day. He invented something. So at any rate, he shall perish in flames for certain, and I give thanks to God that the evil shall be destroyed, absolutely shattered, burnt. What the people of this world need as we grow in faith, or as we deal with all the chaos as it's unraveling, is we need to have a consistent belief in us that this is not an accident. This whole scenario, everything we're in, your whole life, however long it goes, was called forth from the Maker, from our Father above. And it is a good plan. It's a plan that you would thrive, that you would root down into gospel truth, that you would hear the apostles and the prophets, that you would hear the Son of Man speaking, and that you would be turned. That's real. He changes lives every day, and he's still changing them. He ain't rolling back. It doesn't matter how dark the dark gets. The light shines brighter. And in Jesus Christ, the light is this. What he has made, he has made. And it is good. The fabric of reality. Look around you, whatever you see, everything around you, everything you've ever heard of. He called it forth as we understand it, something called the word of power. I don't know how that happens. From my perspective, it'd be strictly speaking supernatural. But what do I know? The point is that he has made it and sustains it and guides it just as he intends. And it's a good management. It's not as if this guy's just kind of going, gosh, I wonder how this thing operates. Oh, there should have been an instruction manual here somewhere. He's not like that at all. And so I just wanted to kind of encourage you a little bit today before you get up and go to work, or, I had to sit down. It's been a long day. It's going to be a hot one today again. Everything, we're just surrounded by lies. We're surrounded by filth. We're surrounded by so-called leaders who need to be shot. Really, they need to be shot. The people who have been draining blood from babies and drinking it, yeah, bullet in the noggin. That's what they need, at least. And it's not going to happen. There will be no retribution in this earth. The wicked shall prosper on their own disgusting way, and they'll die as multi-gillionaires. And then go speak to the Father and try to, shall we say, exculpate themselves. I think that's the word, exculpate. Sounds good. But anyway, try to get off on, like they've done all their lives with bribery and phony smiles and fake promises. Do they think they're going to pull that crap on the Almighty again? No. That crap ain't going to fly. So at any rate, just be satisfied. Be satisfied that your feet are on the real earth, that you're eating real food, that you're drinking real water and breathing clean air, that the real world goes on until He says so. And I'm all for it. I want to see how this show ends. I'd like to ride this thing right. I had this sort of a mental image. You know what I mean? Back in 9/11, this is over 20 years ago. I thought, wouldn't it have been something if on one of those buildings, if someone had the sense to think it through at the time, which is needs to be more of a cartoon than anything, but one of the towers gets knocked or whatever, and then the second one, you're on board and you can't get down. Well, then the only answer is go up, and so go up to the very, very penthouse, get out and stand on the roof of the building. See, it's a cartoon, okay? Nothing like this happened. And I don't know, wrap yourself up in a carpet or something. I don't know where you're going to get the carpet knife to cut the carpet, but never mind that. Roll yourself up in a carpet and just buckle in and ride that sucker to the ground. I mean, it's just like, strangely enough, just like controlled demolition. When have we ever seen that from a fire before? Controlled demolition from a fire. Oh, then there's always Building 7, which came down to controlled demolition without a fire. In fact, it wasn't hit. Nothing suspicious about that at all. Gee whiz. Happens all the time. And so at any rate, ride the sucker as it pancakes down all the way down, and then just walk out at the end. Have to have somebody cut you out of the heap of trash and the huge piece of carpet you were in, but that's kind of the idea I'm saying. This is that it's going to be a shaky ride. It's going to be bad, and just ride it down. And the Lord, He's with us in that there's so many things around us that are just lies, but He's the truth, and He holds His word good in your heart. And so as you think today, well, maybe I should pray, or maybe I should read the Bible, or maybe maybe I should go make an investment, or go hide, or go buy survival equipment or whatever. What we need to do is we need to walk in a sense that He has expressed Himself, and He has never, ever broken His word. You who are saved, we who are saved, they who shall be saved, are saved to the uttermost. He's not an idiot. He's not some sort of amateur. He will certainly capture His folk and bring them home. And there'll be another place, another world. We would call it a world. I don't know what, maybe it's the right word is a realm, but in other words, a place where there's no evil, none of these lies, no Hillary Clintons in there. No Klaus Schwab's in there, no Adolf Hitler's in there. All of those kind of people are going to be in a kind of torment, in a place, Jesus describes it as a place where they never stop grinding their teeth. The worm that is chewing on them never stops chewing. A place of regret, a place of shame, a place of a grievous agony. And the worst part of it all is that a clear knowledge, a complete understanding that that thing has no end. That has no end. Don't go there. Don't go there, please. But the point is that everything's real, and that means justice is real, and that means punishment is real, and that means that blessing and reward are real as well. And so, as things heat up, I mean, here comes Mr. Sunshine. He's going to heat up too. But as the politics heat up, as the lies heat up, as all the just crooked criminal garbage that passes for human behavior these days, you hold the standard, you hold the line, you are the line. In this dark place, you are the light. In this disgusting rat hole, you are the straight line measure. And so don't collapse, don't quit. You're needed just by virtue of the fact that they can't stand you. They must have you around, or they have nothing to compare themselves to, which is all that this is what it is. It's a phony. So if you want to get into a phony baloney matrix type environment, then think about all that ego crap, how people justify their own selves all their lives simply by saying, I'm not as bad as, they name somebody they believe is worse. That's squat. That does you no good, and doesn't help anyone else either. So go out and do something instead, like water the grass, or pat a little kid on the head and say, hey, little Scooter, God bless you. Or, be nice to a small animal, that can't hurt you. When someone cuts you off in traffic, pray for them. You know what I mean? Because I know what I want to do. Here comes the fours. Here, more fours. There are fours, And I always assault people's intelligence when they're doing stupid things. It isn't their intelligence. It's that they've been blinded somewhere, and we need to help. Because there's days when I'm blinded. I almost got into an accident yesterday. I missed it by that much. And I thanked God for it later, but it was just so weird. It was like, where did that car come from? And I'm sure they would have been thinking the same thing. They never even saw me. But the thing is that you guys, you're in good hands, and I'm not talking to an insurance company here. You're in good hands, and in His hands He carries you. There's a lion at your side, and He is afraid of none. So you be bold too, and know that whether you live or whether you die physically in this world, nothing can separate you from Him or Him from you. That makes all the difference right there. You guys have a good day. Bye-bye.